Good morning everybody. I'm back on the farm. I was here about 5:30 this morning feeding the ducks and the chickens and the fish, and that's all done. I've decided to come back on the farm. I'm going to show you around a little bit more, and today I'm going to talk about my motorbike. This morning when I first came down, there was two kingfishers sitting right on the pond bank, which is really nice. So it looks like we've got a breeding pair. So here we are back on the farm. Beautiful sunny day, but it is very chilly. It's about 12 Celsius at the moment, so it's not exactly very warm. I did go to the market the other day, as you know, and I bought some fleece sweaters, so that should keep me pretty warm throughout the winter. There's a few people over there on the rice field. Let's see if I can just show you. I'm not sure whether you can actually see them from here, but they're now tilling all the soil over, ready for the next planting of rice. As usual, the mountains are absolutely stunning, just beautiful here. So peaceful, just so peaceful. My motorbike. You need transportation up here because we live so far from, from the town. To get a loaf of bread and a pint of milk is a 20-kilometre ride, so I do need a motorbike. We've been thinking about getting a new one, but other things have taken a priority, such as the work that needs doing on the farm. We managed to save up about half of the money that was required for the new bike, which was the new Honda CBR 650F. It'll either be the CB 650F or the CBR. We're not quite sure, but anyway, it's been waylaid because we've had to spend the money on the farm. So this is my my little motorbike. Now it's a Honda CB 150R. It's a little sports bike. It's 8 years old. It doesn't really have an awful lot of power. I was planning on going up into the mountains, but with both, with me and the wife on the bike, it just doesn't have the power. But it's been a really great little bike. I can't complain. In the monsoon season, we had a bit of an accident with it. I don't know whether you can see, but there's a bit of a dent in the tank here and here. And what happened is we parked the motorbike right next to a tree, and then one night the monsoon winds picked up, and it literally pushed the motorbike off its stand and straight into the tree. So hence the dent in the tank. But I've had it for 8 years. No real problems. Only one time I couldn't start it, and it turned out the battery was dead, so I had to replace the battery on her. Recently we've had new brakes, new tyres, new chain, new sprocket, so and I know my shadow's getting in the way. I'll stand around there a little bit more. So there it is, little tiny CBR. But it's been a great little bike. I mean, it gets us around. As far as motor vlogging is concerned, I really want to do an awful lot more, but I've got issues at the moment with the camera setup. For those of you who know me, I've only just received the GoPro camera. We've only had it 2 days, but getting anything like this and accessories is a bit of a nightmare. So I'm still waiting on a microphone and some other bits and pieces. I did try and order the GoPro mic adapter for the Hero 5 Black, but it's like a brick, so it's not really very good for motovlogging. The alternative was a Tascam DR05, which I managed to get hold of, but again, still waiting for the microphone. So once that turns up, hopefully the audio quality of the videos will be a lot better. As you can see, I've set the helmet up. I'll see if I can lift this up and show you. On the side of the helmet there, I put a side mount, and I wanted it to go right round so the camera could sit just in front. This is a modular helmet, so it's a little bit more difficult. I did actually put another mount at the top, and I've briefly tried both. I don't know where I'm going wrong, to be honest with you. The one at the top, you just see everything, but you can't really see the front of the bike, for instance the instruments, which I'm not really sure is a really huge problem. The front mount is just too low, and I can't seem to get it to go much higher, so really when I tested it, all I could see on the video was basically the instrument panel. So I wasn't very happy for it. I've got some other bits and pieces coming for it, so I'll try again, and I think it's really a case of trial and error with this type of thing. So that's my little motorbike. It's the Honda CBR 150R. It's been a great little bike. I can't complain. It's done quite a few kilometres. I've had it for 8 years and no real problems with it at all. So just had new tyres on it, but the tyres are starting to get a beating anyway because of the farm road. As we come in, it's all full of potholes and gravel and loose debris. Yes, I know it needs a good clean as well, and I haven't got round to it. And I've got to get my tacks sorted out. I've just bought new tacks for it, and I just need to put the sticker on the bike. So there you go. Yeah, I know that some people will look at this and think it's no better than my grandmother's sewing machine, but it's transportation. It gets us around, and like I said, it's been a really, really good bike. I would certainly buy another Honda. I mean, it's one of the reasons why we were looking at the either the CB or the CBR 650F, because Honda produced such a great motorbike. You could just run them forever. I'm sure if I kept this one, it would keep on going for at least another few years. It's they just seem to be very, very durable. Great little bike. Well, we did have some baby ducks on the pond, but they've gone missing. So, you know, I can only assume that either dogs or poachers have been in and taken them. You know, again, we continuously have this problem, which is why I want to build this fencing all the way around. It'll at least keep the dogs out, if nothing else. And if the fencing's done properly, it should actually keep the poachers out. It's such a pain, but what can you do? I said last time about snakes, and yes, we get a lot. I caught a couple, but they weren't venomous. They were just pond snakes. They eat the fish, so we let them go. That's it. I've started the ducks off. The creek is still very, very dry. It's almost no water in it at all now. When I was fishing here the other day, I was sitting there fishing away and minding my own business. There's my ducks again. There they are. But I was sitting there fishing, and this snake literally went straight past me, and lo and behold, I didn't have the camera with me. Typical, but that's the way it goes. Have to be a bit careful here. As you can see, there's not an awful lot of room between the I'll show you, between the riverbank, pond bank, and the banana trees. So it's just a case of having to navigate carefully around. When it gets wet in the wet season, it's a bit perilous. But again, you know, once we sort out the fencing, we'll move a lot of this back anyway. That's about it right now. Pond's looking really nice. I keep threatening I'm going to come down here at night and do a little bit of night fishing. That'll serve two purposes. First of all, it might just deter anybody coming down here and stealing from us, and two, it'd be quite nice to do a little bit of night fishing. And of course, if I do and I get tired, I can always go and take refuge in my shack. It's such a cool little shack, but it does need a little bit of work, but we'll see how it goes. There's so much to do, but I think if you ask any farmer, he'll tell you that it never stops. There's always lots to do, but to me this is just idyllic. I just love being here, and I'm now thinking, I was just going to come up here and show you around the motorbike. I wanted to do it here, not at the house, because there's so much noise at the house all the time. Obviously we've got neighbours, and they're selling things like pork and noodles, and they have a tendency to shout an awful lot. So I thought I'd actually come down somewhere where it's nice and peaceful, apart from the ducks, but it's ducks. Now that I'm down here, I don't really want to go back. I just want to sit down here and maybe do a bit of fishing. It's just lovely. You know, sit down in under the shade, and the sun's once you sit in the sun, even though it's winter time here, it's still very, very warm. But obviously you've got this crisp air. You can't really explain it, but it's really crisp and fresh. But it's just chilly. But in the sun, it's just beautiful. It gets very cold at night. We have to wrap up in fleece blankets, and then a big duvet on top of that. And the ducks seem to be following me around. I've got a funny feeling they're probably looking for food. I was feeding the fish this morning with the fish food and the pellets, and they seem to like that quite a bit. So, got a funny feeling that's exactly what they're waiting for me to do. But they'll have to wait until tomorrow morning now. This is a view from the other end of the pond. If I just scan round, you can see the shack there, and it's a lovely pond. As I said the other day as well about the pond, you know, we want to extend the pond into the rice field over there, so do away with this part of the rice field, and then make a much larger pond and do a little bit more fish farming. We'll come back now. I can hear the chicks, they're all chicks. Fed them this morning. Oh, the boys are out. There you go. Come on, boys. Come and say hello. Right. Well, I think I might just set myself up and do a little bit of fishing for an hour. I'm relaxed by the pond. I do love it here so much. Really, really love it. Think of a nicer place. That sun is so nice. Oh, just so warm. You just get out into the sun. It's just, oh, it heats you right up. Might even have to take my sweatshirt off soon. There we go. Lovely.